For this one, we need to be super comfortable with any kind of twisted grip handstand position. Now, I really want to get this tutorial out, but probably and realistically, I could do with doing a few more prerequisite tutorials for this one. So if you're joining me now as I'm posting it, I will show you what you need to be able to do in a second. And if you can't do that, don't worry, the videos are going to come hopefully in the next week, okay? If you're watching this later, they should already be in the description of this video, hopefully. So any kind of twisted grip handstand type position is really helpful, and it's super helpful if you're comfortable in handstands, and if you've got like a brass monkey, if you can do your brass monkey, which hopefully by advanced, you've got at least one brass monkey entry down, okay? So this is a really hard one to teach. It's very complex. There's a lot going on. When I taught this in class recently, it took every group a few weeks to tweak each little individual element, okay? Because there's a lot going on. So do your best today, but don't stress if it's not perfect or it doesn't look quite right, okay? It will. It's just going to take some time. Now, I always say this, but the best thing you can do if you're struggling, film it, send me a video, and I will give you personalized feedback. Because actually, otherwise you can muddle along for ages not really knowing what's not quite working, okay? So let's dive in. We'll do a general breakdown where we look at all the different components, and then I can guarantee I can't do this on my left, but I will tell you which arm and leg are doing what on left and right. Let's start by just doing it really slow and talking through the key points. Now, this first section, I recommend you just watch this entire first breakdown section, okay? And don't even try anything just yet. When we get to left and right, that's your chance to try it with me. But I think you need to kind of take in the information first where possible, okay? So let's do a slow breakdown and I'll talk you through it as I'm doing all the different points. Now, let me just say, this is a really hard one to do slowly. So it's probably gonna look shit, but it's not about how I look right now, it's about the information that I am delivering. So we start off in our twisted grip handstand position. So my hand is directly under my shoulder and in line with the pole. My other shoulder is on the pole and my hand is in twisty grip. We will talk about this a little bit more shortly. My inside leg is going to sort of rotate out as I go up to hook like a brass monkey leg. And I'm going to make sure I'm really tall in my handstand. I don't want to be collapsing down in any way. My whole body is pushing up to the ceiling. I'm going to drop my head down, open my hips and bring my arm round. Now at this point you will push up. I've slid too much. This bottom arm that's buckling, we'll do a big push, and then the leg that isn't hooked is going to lead down first. Then your hooked leg will follow, okay? Let me show you from a different angle, and then we're going to literally look at each individual section and component for everything that you're going to need, and we'll look at some of the common issues, okay? Then we'll just go for a quick left and right. Sorry. So again, I'm not going to go into super detail on each bit necessarily. Just want to give you a different angle. So, twisty grip on the part. I'm really slidey. I might have to go and get some grip in a second. So my shoulder is on the pole, my hand is in twisty, my bottom hand is in line with the pole and under my shoulder. My inside leg is kicking up and going to a brass monkey position. I'm looking at the floor to begin with and I'm keeping tall. I tuck the head, I open my hips, I pop my hand round, I push up, that's better. My free leg goes down first, my second leg follows, and as my second leg follows, I have to release the hand behind my back, otherwise I will get stuck and I won't be able to come up fluidly, okay? So let's take each section and pull it apart. So let's just look at the kicking up and the arm position. So it can be a bit awkward. I will show you two angles. For some reason I'm losing my voice. No idea why. Apologise. I'm really croaky all of a sudden. And still, it's been 2 months since I was sick. Still lots going on. Okay, so I'm going to do a tutorial on twisted grip handstands. I'm particularly going to the brass monkey position anyways, but let's just loosely touch on it now so you've got some information. So I'm going to start off with the pole next to me, and my feet are actually quite far back. Okay, it's going to make it easier to set up. My outside arm is going to go on the floor. It's going in line with the pole. If there was a line going through directly in front of me, okay, that hand is going on that line, and it's going directly under my shoulder, so we don't want to be too far or too close to the pole. My arm that is closest to the pole, my palm is going to face across my body. Okay, so my palm is facing towards me, and then I don't turn my wrist. My wrist stays the same. It's going to take my hand to my bum. I don't turn it. I keep it in position, and then I'm going to reach it up to the pole. Okay, it just keeps going in a circle. So let me show you from this angle. No rotation of the wrist. The palm stays facing the way it is, and then it goes to the pole. And I'm going to put my shoulder on the pole. Okay, it's going to help. My inside leg is kicking up, and it kind of like, I think of it like my foot is rotating out when I get to the top in order to hook. Because if I don't do this, it might go past the pole. Okay, so we're going to catch it like a brass monkey. So inside leg swings, head, I keep looking at the floor, and I hook. Okay, that's your starting element. Now, something really important once we get up is that we are tall, okay? Not just with that arm that's on the floor, but the whole body. I am trying to reach my knee as hooked as high as I can in that position. So I don't want to end up sort of collapsing. So this bottom arm could collapse, but also your body can kind of collapse. You can sort of like let your hips go all weird, okay? I'm thinking about being as tall as I can in my starting position. And some people, when they kick up to their handstand, will tuck their head. So they're looking out at the wall rather than the floor. There is nothing wrong with that. Okay, I personally, once I'm kicking up and as I get up, I prefer to look at the floor at my hand. But this is going to take us to our next two things, or technically three things that happen together. Okay, so now we're up. Three things are going to happen all at once. We're going to open our hips to create our spin round. We are going to remove our hand off the floor, and we're going to change our head position if we were looking at the ground. Okay, so let me demonstrate the main one first. This is the hips. The hips are going to open. So the leg that is not hooked onto the pole, you are going to think about squeezing your bum and opening your hip like a book. And it comes from the hip, not the chest. The movement that takes you from one side of the pole to the other comes from the hips. You do not want to think about your arms doing any work, or your upper body, or your head doing any work. Because when we move from anything but the hips, we tend to end up not in the right position, and then it's very hard to complete it. And I'll show you why in a second, but let's just show you that hip movement in the air. So the leg that isn't hooked, I squeeze my foot to my bum, but I also think about opening my hip because I'm trying to go backwards. We're trying to fall backwards, okay, not forwards. So I'm here and I'm going to open that hip. Okay, can we see that? It's like I'm tipping backwards. And what's really important, and you kind of almost saw what happens there. If I try and move from the upper body of the arm, my body twists weird. Now, what we need to do with our body as we turn, because basically we're doing a 180. We start here, we end here. Okay, we don't go any further around. It's 180, okay? We're traveling just in a straight line, essentially, okay? I've lost my train of thought where I was like, oh yeah. So to be able to do that without losing control and sliding and ending up in weird positions, we need to move like this. My body stays straight, okay? Actually stays straight. My hips open, okay? That movement, my hip opens to take me backwards, but my body stays straight. If I start trying to move around the pole by like moving my chest, you won't be able to hold this very well. Let me show you what happens. So this is if I try and use my upper body, my head, my arm to try and move my body around. Okay, Now I've dropped down, my hips have lost, I spun round too far, I can't keep pushing up, okay? Drags my body into the wrong position. We gotta stay straight, okay? So this comes to the next 2 points. We've opened the hip leads the movement. I'm just gonna take my hand off the floor. That might feel a bit scary, but you're gonna be okay. You've got a leg, you've got an arm, okay? I'm wearing trousers, but you would have extra grip points if you had your bare legs out, okay? So I take my hand off the floor, and to facilitate the next movement, I'm just gonna tuck my head, okay? So from here, a tucked head brings me chin to chest, but that's not what's gonna happen in the air because you're probably looking at the floor. So you're actually doing this with your head. I'm gonna show you this in a second. You're doing this to start with. So you're gonna tuck your head just to a neutral position because we wanna be straight, okay? So watch this now. So I kick up. Okay, I'm looking at the floor. Can you see my head's like arched back? I'm gonna bring my head down. I'm gonna open my hip and I'm just gonna take my hand off. Okay, now this alone isn't what we need to do. It's not the only things, but this is a really important next step. Okay, and you could just practice that. So I tuck the head so I'm neutral. So I'm not here, I'm here. Some of you may already have done that. Remove the bottom hand at the same time the hip moves. Technically, all three things happen together, but you could tuck the head first, then think about the hand coming off as the hips move. So one more time. So inside leg kicks up to brass monkey, nice and tall. I tuck my head, I open my hip, I take my hands off the floor. And if we've kept nice and tall as we turn, in theory, we should end up in the right place, okay? And we've almost kind of done what we need to do. However, that's not always that simple. So let's talk about another element of what happens here. We are gonna go from being on one shoulder, we remove, we drop the head, and then our hips turn, and what happens is we end up on the other shoulder. Okay, so I want to show you this from a few different angles. So can you see, I've got the same arm on top, I'll have the same leg hooked on top, but now the pole is coming across to the other shoulder. Now, what I have to do next is replace this arm I've removed. And I'm going to place this arm directly under my shoulder. It's going to be quite close to the pole, okay, because the pole is close to your neck. Okay, so it's going to be just slightly off to the side of your pole. And what's probably going to happen is your arm is going to buckle. So what we need to do is push back up again, which is why it's important that we try not to lose too much height in that transition as we spin round. So having a bit more extra leg grip, okay, I don't have it today, but having a little bit of extra leg grip, being fast with the movement, but not too fast. You want to be controlled. If you go too fast, you won't just do a half turn, you'll just keep going, okay? So getting the right speed is part of it. But if we get everything right, it can be quite simple just to push up. And then we can do our dismount, okay? So let's look at that. It's a hard one to show you what the head's doing. I'm not sure, I'm never quite sure what the best angle for this one is. But like you need all the angles, so maybe let's just do it from all directions. And then you've got all of the options to see. So we go from one shoulder to the other, okay? Legs stay the same. See how much information you need for this one. It's such a complicated movement. And I would recommend you almost take it like a section at a time. That's okay. So I'm in twisty grip. My shoulder's on the pole, my hand's under my shoulder. Inside leg hooks up, and I think really tall. I drop the head, I open the hip, I bring the hand under my shoulder, and you can see now it's on my other shoulder. Okay, it was on this shoulder, this arm up here. Okay, now to come down, the leg that isn't hooked leads. The second leg follows, and as the second leg follows, this top hand is going to release. We have to stay very strong in that bottom arm or we'll collapse. And if we do it fast, the momentum will automatically ping us up to standing. Okay, so we won't have to work as hard to get up. When you're first learning it, there's so much to think about. You're probably going to be looking kind of like what I just did then. In time, you'll very confidently come out. Now, something I didn't say at the beginning, which I feel I should say now. For this sequence, although we can get away with doing it in quite a small space, the more space you have, the better, particularly for that dismount. because if we put our feet too close to the pole, which is what we have to do if the room is small, it can be even harder to get us up to standing, okay? So let's look at that, and then I think we've got the puzzle pieces, and then we'll pull it all together one more time from a few different angles. I said I was going to do different angles for that first bit with the head. Let's do that as well. Oh my God, there's too many things. Okay, dismount can wait. Head position again, let's show you from this angle. I think this is quite a good one to demonstrate it. Let's see. So, twisty grip, hand under shoulder, inside leg hooks, nice and tall. Tuck the head, take the hand off, spin round. See how it's on my other shoulder? I've lost my grip, so I'm struggling to push up, but you can see how it swaps from shoulder to shoulder, okay? Fingers crossed, hopefully you can see that. I'm just gonna clean my bowl, I'm very slidey. The final puzzle piece is that push, so that we elevate ourselves back up, and then we have to come down one leg at a time. So we have briefly touched on this. I got a bit ahead of myself. So I think this angle is probably the best for this one, especially as I don't have as much room on this side. I don't want to hit the wall. So let's go up. Right hand on the pole, left hand under the shoulder. Remember this shoulder, we actually want this, I don't know if I said this at the beginning, this arm, ideally we want actually quite high. So normally when I do these kind of handstands, I might even drop the shoulder purposefully so that my shoulders and hips are square. With this one, I almost do want to be slightly open. Okay, so I'm going to reach a little bit higher. This is going to stop us from dropping as well when we spin round. So inside leg hooks, nice and tall with the body, push with the bottom arm. Tuck the head, hand comes off, hips open, and I push up. Can we see that? I'm pulling through the top arm, but I'm also pushing through the bottom arm. I'm going to bring my leg that isn't hooked first, and I'm going to reach it away. Okay, that might be a little bit far for me. I'm going to reach it away. I'm going to drop the second leg down, and as the second leg unhooks and comes down, this top hand's going to come off. And the momentum, if you do it fast, and a good push through this bottom arm, is going to whip you up to standing. Okay, just going to come up. Now, where to put your first foot? Debatable. Because we all have different limb lengths. But what I will tell you, if the foot comes in too close, right, if it comes in close, it's hard to pull yourself up because you're so compact. Okay, now you might be able to really drive the back leg right back and still save it. The back leg might whip you up. But if it's too close, you're so compact. It's a long way for your body to come back up again. Okay, you have to use a lot of back muscles. Whereas if the leg, I'm trying to think how to stretch, if the leg is further away, okay, you can even just try this from like this position. If the leg is further away, you can push and you'll come up. If it's really close, you push, you come up, you'll feel, whew, that's a lot harder work in my standing leg. So we want to think about that first leg that comes down, the one that isn't hooked, traveling further away from the pole. Okay, how far? Depends. There's a happy middle ground. Depends on your limb length. If you're too close, you'll struggle to stand up. If you're too far away, you'll probably fall on your face. So find that middle spot that works for you. But the key is speed. We have to really like throw ourselves off that pole almost. Obviously, don't go crazy to begin with. Build it up, do it slow, get confident. Then we start to speed it up. But it's the real releasing that top hand off the pole and throwing the leg back that helps to whip the body up. It's a little bit like a seesaw, okay? Your head isn't going to come up till your feet go down. Okay, one more, all the way through, and then we're going to look at left and right. So maybe I'll go, we've been doing a couple of sides, haven't we? Let's maybe go this way. So all of it together now. It's probably, again, it might look shit because I'm doing it very, very slowly. I'm losing my grip, but you'll get the key points verbally. So, back from the pole with the feet. Outside hand onto the floor in line with the pole. Palm facing across the body. Don't move the wrist. Keep the palm facing where it is. Circle the arm back onto the pole. Bring the shoulder into the pole. Get this arm quite high, remember. So high enough that you can still keep this hand on the floor. Okay. If you go any higher, it's coming off the floor. All right.
So it's as high as it physically can with this arm down. Lock this arm and really strong in this arm. Inside leg's kicking up. The leg is going out into that brass monkey grip. Push tall. Drop the head as you open the hip. Bring the hand through. Push up. Oh, I did a good one. Free leg comes down. Reach it back. Release the top hand. Push through the hand. Whip yourself up. Okay. Okay. Now, if you do all the things I just said, in theory, the pole should just end up on the correct shoulders. But like I said, I always say this, I can give you all of the cues, all of the adaptations, all of the variables, all of the things you might fuck up. And you'll still find something new to fuck up. So, as I said before, filming yourself and sending it to me so I can see what you're doing wrong is going to be more helpful. And you can do that as many times as you need to. Don't feel like you can only send me one video. Like you might encounter different problems along the way. That's okay, I'll help you as often as needs be. You pay for a service, this is part of it, make use of me. Okay, right, left and right is gonna be challenging. I can't do the left. I know I can't. This is one of the only things where I'm just like, there's no fucking way. I'll even do like flips, handsprings, Aishas on my left side, but handstands. So I'll give you a visual, I'll give you a verbal, and you'll hopefully figure it out. Okay, let's go for it, left and right. Okay, we are going for a back view because for at least the first half, when I say right side, it'll be right side on your screen, okay? In fact, I'll do a front view as well. We'll do a back and a front. So the first half, when I say right side, it will be right side on your screen, okay? In the second demo, that will be the second half of the sequence. Does that make sense? Basically, as I turn this way, left and right is not gonna look right on your screen. You'll figure it out, I'm sure. So the pole is on my right and I'm back from my pole. I'm gonna come down. I'm gonna put my left hand on the floor. Probably can't see right now, but just a little bit out from the pole, in line with the pole, under my shoulder. My right hand, I've got my palm facing across my body, and I'm gonna circle that up to my bum without turning my wrist. Just draw a line up until I find the pole. My shoulder is on the pole, reaching nice and tall. My right leg, my inside leg is kicking up and it's going to go to the side to hook in that brass monkey. And I'm thinking tall. I'm going to open my left hip, so I'm going to squeeze my left bum cheek and I'm going to bring my head down and the pole will come to my left shoulder and my left hand will go down and I'm going to give a good push, which is really tiring. My left leg is coming down first. My right leg follows as my right hand releases and I pop myself to standing. Oh my God, my arm is like shaking then. I was like, I'm going to push up. I don't care if I've gotten too low. I'm going to push up. I'm committed. Oh, wow. That was tiring. Okay. Okay, right side from this direction. So now the second half, you'll see the left and the right. Okay, the first, it won't be visually the same. So, right side again. I'm back from my pole. My pole is on my right. My left hand is going to go on the floor in line with the pole. My right hand is pointing across my body and I just circle it up without turning my wrist until the pole touches my hands and I bring my shoulder in. I reach tall, right hand tall. Right leg is going to jump up. I'm basically kicking the wall here, so I'm going to be careful, but you do you. Nice and tall. I drop the head, I open the hips, I bring the hand through, I push up. My left leg comes down first, my right leg releases. As it does, my right hand comes up, comes off, and I ping up. Okay? Now left side, I'm just gonna have to do, I can't even kick up on my left. So you're not gonna get left as such, but hopefully you'll still kind of understand what's going on. So, pole is on my left. Right hand is on the floor, underneath my shoulder in line with the pole. Left hand, the palm is across the body. Circles up until it's in position. Remember to reach it high. Get it on the shoulder. Inside leg is going to kick up and we're going to hook this leg. So imagine I'm now in my handstand. I'm going to tuck my head as my right hip opens up. So I'm going to be going this way, backwards. I'm opening my right hip. Okay. I tuck my head. I bring my right hand off. It's off the floor. and I'm going to be spinning backwards, which doesn't look like it from here, right? But it will be. If you've dropped the head, hopefully the pole is now on your right shoulder. And you can bring your right hand underneath your right shoulder. You're going to push up. Your left leg will come down first, then your right leg. You'll release your left hand and you'll whip yourself up, okay? I know that's not the best visual, but it's the best I can give you today. Okay, let's do the front view. So remember, first half, left and right won't be the same on screen, but when I turn, left and right will be on your screen, left and right, okay? So pole is on my left, hands come down. My right hand is in line with my pole underneath my shoulder. My left hand, palm is across the body. I circle it up and my shoulder comes onto the pole and I'm reaching high enough that I can still just keep this hand on the floor, but not any lower. Left leg is going to kick up and hook. Okay, my left leg is now hooked. I'm up in that brass monkey position. My right hip is going to open like a book, so I'm squeezing my right bum cheek to send me circling backwards. Now, right now it will look like I'm going forwards, but it's just because I'm not upside down. Okay, I'm going to be going backwards. So I drop my head down. I take my right hand off the floor. I open my hips. The pole goes behind my head and it stops on my right shoulder. Very quickly, get your right arm down. And if it's buckled, push up. You can also pull with the left arm to help facilitate that. Your left leg is going to release first because this is the one that's not hooked. Left leg comes down first. Right leg follows. As the right leg comes down, the left hand releases. I push through the right hand and I use momentum to ping me up to standing. Okay. Whew. Even just doing it there, not actually kicking up on the left is hard work. So do both sides, kids. Okay. Wow. I feel like I think I have given you everything you need for this one, if you're strong enough and you've got your prerequisites, okay? There's no reason why you shouldn't be able to do it. Like I said, with my advanced class, it took a few weeks. And I actually think it's still going to take them maybe another 2-3 weeks to get like super comfortable, super happy, perfect every time, okay? Because one thing I haven't mentioned yet, which is not the most important thing, but well, I have mentioned it, but I haven't really gone into it, is that we really do want to come up, do a 180, come down. But when we're learning it, we might not go very far, okay? So we may go like to here, okay? Might do like a quarter turn, okay, rather than a half turn. Or we might get too much momentum and we might go like all the way around, way too far, okay? Now, it's not the end of the world. It still looks pretty cool. But for this one to be like perfect, you know, to what it is supposed to represent is that up, turn, down, okay? We want to do that half turn. And that's going to take practice. So even if you know what's going on, getting just the right amount of momentum and turn is part of the battle, and that just takes practice. Okay, I think once we figured out the key points, that was the thing that my students are struggling with the most. They're either not getting enough momentum or they're getting too much, but they're getting there. I think another 2 weeks, they'll have it. They'll have it really good. Okay, as always, reach out if you need help. I can't help you if I don't know that you need help. Video what you're doing, send it to me, okay? I never share anything unless I have permission, okay? So I won't share your fails unless you get a success and then we want to put them next to each other. That's quite a good thing to do. This is why you should record what you're doing, because then you get a nice little social media video of like, look how shit I was. Look how amazing I am now. Okay, I'm on one today. I'm going to wrap it up. So reach out if you need help and don't forget to train smarter, not harder.